Time may have softened the edges, but the sting of being sacked from the Beatles remains a defining chapter in Pete Best's life. Looking back, he offers a unique and often unheard perspective on the dynamics within the band, the burgeoning talent of its members, and his complex feelings about the man who would become a global icon, Paul McCartney. We were rockers, we were little Hardys, we could handle ourselves. But when I got back home and I told my mother what happened, behind the sanctuary of the front door, I cried like a baby, Best recalls. Anybody over a certain age who hears the name Pete Best will be familiar with the saga of the so-called fifth Beatle and the life he lost out on. At the height of Beatlemania, Best attempted suicide, but he has always denied it was because of depression related to being fired. You should never ask someone who has tried to take their own life why they did it, he said. I don't know why I did it. All I know is my mother and my brother Rory found me. My mother gave me such a talking to, and I vowed I would never do anything like that again, and I never will. How did he cope in a world that never lets anyone forget about the Beatles? I think if I'd kept reflecting about what happened yesterday all the time, and it was like a nightmare to me, I would have ended up bitter and twisted. But there came a period in my life when I was like, to hell with what happened yesterday, it's about today and tomorrow. In the end, being an ex-Beatle and carrying the weight of the criticism of his former bandmates gave him purpose, a reason to prove himself. Over the years, he had to endure public comments from various band members who critiqued his drumming and aspects of his personality in attempts to justify the sacking. You're the Beatle who got kicked out because you were crap. So there's always been a point where I've had to prove myself. I haven't talked about it. People make their own impressions about what a drummer is about. So I'll perform on stage, and the audience can make their own mind up. I'm glad to say that the consensus of opinion is, yeah, you're a great drummer, Pete. I'm happy with that. He might not be John, Paul, George, or even Ringo, but he was still a Beatle, which means it's still a thrill just to hear him talk about his days in the band. Propping up bars across Hamburg with gentle, tender John, he was closest to Lennon, or having mock fights with the band on stage at the Indra Club on the Reeperbahn. Or his enduring fondness for I Saw Her Standing There, one of the first Beatles originals he ever played on drums. Lennon and Harrison are dead now, while Starr had nothing to do with the decision to replace the drummer. So there's only one Beatle left who was directly involved in the banishing of Pete Best. Does Best forgive McCartney? I've nothing to forgive him about. They made a decision as young men which was safeguarding their future. Okay, it could have been handled better. I was the fall guy for it. I suffered, but I'm not holding them to task over it. If I'd have been in the same situation and I was another member of the band, maybe I'd have been one of the bad guys. I've no regrets, he continues. I think I'm a lucky guy. I'm very proud of what I've achieved as a person, of the examples I've set to people to get on with your life, to pick yourself up. I've been an inspiration, and I'm proud of that.